And it is I, the V&A Moreno. Hey, what's up, you guys?
What if we have my microphone on? That's not your catchphrase. I was going to say, hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Is your catchphrase. We all have to have, we're all branding ourselves to make sure we have a catchphrase. That's what we're doing around here, if you haven't caught on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show for the free show. I am Greg. That is V&A. I have a little echo in my ear. If that's possible to kill that, that would be awesome. Because I barely need to hear myself once, let alone twice. Big Greg. Anyway, welcome to the pre-show for the free show. Ashley Pickle is off today. She is.
I think she is in Spain, maybe?
Sure.
Today, yes.
I've been playing a game. Speaking of Spain, I've been playing a game. It's called Geo Hunter. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, where it gives you like a picture and you have to guess where it is in the world.
No, that's GeoGuessr.
Oh,
that's a good miss is what we would call it. So this would be basically they give you a bunch of categories, and then they give you a flag of a country and tell you a country. They give you a random country, and you have to say what do you think is their highest rank in the of those categories, where you think they fit, and so you're trying to get the lowest score possible. So if you get number one in all the categories, right, then the final score would be like 8 or something like that.
Oh.
And so I've been doing that, and so for example, like this one did population, natural gas, football, small size, tourism, coffee, crime rate, and GDP. Anyway, it's geohuntergame.com. I've been playing that. I don't know why you saying she was in Spain.
It fits.
It does fit. We'll talk about this during the real show. We're a week away from Thanksgiving. We are 1 week away from the most important, best day of the year. And
hard agree.
And it's gonna be fun around here, because next week, to give you some programming notes, I'm freezing in here.
It's very cold. It is very cold.
I walked into the office, and I haven't worn like a short sleeve shirt in a while into the office, but I was like, I'm feeling jaunty. It's raining outside. I'll do that.
No, I'm
bad
always
idea.
either like double layered or something.
Bad idea. To give you a little bit of programming for next week, we are going to have our normal show on Monday Morning Fallout. Then on Wednesday, a very special Wednesday edition of Texas Football Today, because we don't want to counter-program the Lions, who are on at noon on Thanksgiving Day. We don't want to counter-program them. So Wednesday at noon, we will have our regional semifinal preview edition and all that fun stuff. That will be on tape because I will be driving at that. Well, no, I'll be in St. Louis at that point.
Ooh.
I'm driving to St. Louis. It's a 10-hour drive.
Man.
But my wife and the boys are flying up on Sunday morning so that they can get an extra 48 hours with Lily and Poppy. And so then I'm going to drive by myself from St. Louis or from Dallas to St. Louis after I work on Monday and then get on the road. I'm going to split up for 2 days. Do you like driving long distances or no?
I don't. I haven't really necessarily driven long distance by myself. I'm usually with a group of people. Or if it's here, like my boss, also known as Ashley, has been the one behind the wheel as a group.
See, for me, I love road trips. I love driving long distances because I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. It's a nice challenge. I think it's because, basically, long story short, you went to college 15 minutes up the street.
I did, yes.
I went to college 10 hours away. And so that's where I got. So I have done the Columbia, Missouri to Dallas, Texas road trip probably 30 times in my life, or sometime like round trip, probably 15. And I think my best time, I did get there in 9 hours and 10 minutes once. And I was going an irresponsible speed.
Oh my goodness.
That's long.
So you got to tell everyone what do you listen to?
I will load up on podcasts. I've intentionally been avoiding my favorite podcasts for about a week. So I'm loaded up, and then I'll sprinkle in some music and stuff like that. That's what I do. I'm not somebody, I don't like talking on the phone when I'm driving. There's some people who it's there's some people who it's I just want to get on the phone and talk to somebody, and that's going to be my entertainment. I don't like doing that.
I can't really do that either because I feel like I get distracted. Not like in that kind of way. Just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just not the biggest fan.
So anyway, there's a little bit of what we're doing next week. We will have a full slate of shows. They'll just be kind of jumbled around because of the best day of the year, which is 1 week from today.
1 week.
Hit the theme, Expo. Yes, y'all! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a show that should have worn sleeves. My name's Kirk Tepper. It's cold in here. I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good, pushing all the buttons, twisting all the dials, grabbing all the levers.
Pulling the crunk. Or pulling the thing.
I think it's
the wheel.
Kronk.
Oh, yeah.
It's V&A Moreno.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Today is what a monumental day, because today is Thursday, November 20th, 2025.
It is Thursday.
It is a mere 7 days to Thanksgiving. We are 1 week away from the best day of the year, and you guys, everyone laughs at us when it's like February and we're counting down. It's like 300 days to Thanksgiving, but it's so that moments like this feel like this. Yeah, we're fired up. Happy birthday to Future. It is episode 1900. Do you know that?
It is 1900.
Episode 1900. This was a mistake. This whole show.
Why?
I just mean starting the show and doing it for this long. For doing it 1900
Never
episodes.
a mistake.
Too many episodes. Anyway, but we don't need to make a big deal of it because we already did a 10th anniversary show. And people are sick of celebrating this stupid show. On today's show, folks, it is the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs starting tonight. Starting like hours from now. There's a game that kicks off at 5. Got moved ahead for weather purposes. We are going to run down my top 10 Texas high school football games of the week here in the area round. There's 176 UIL Texas high school football games. We will rank the top 10. Then we're switching some things around. We're going to be joined by Craig Way, the Texas High School Football Hall of Famer, joins us every Thursday to talk high school football and a little bit of Texas Longhorns as they have got their hands full trying to make the college football playoff. We'll talk with Craig. Then, the picks. My predictions for all 176 UIL Texas High School Football playoff games this weekend. I guarantee I got at least one right. Then, we're going to be joined by the head coach of one of those teams still alive, one of those 352 teams, Coach John Bachtel of the Fairfield Eagles, the undefeated 11-0 Fairfield Eagles will join us. We're going to talk about his high-flying offense, their big game with Yoakum this week. And then it's Mailbag. We're answering your questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, V&A's DMs.
Okay. No.
I can't ask you about your DMs?
No.
Okay. Don't ask about V&A's DMs, I guess. I don't know.
N-O.
Do not. Okay. No matter what, if you're in the comments, do not, under any circumstance, ask about V&A's DMs.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't do it.
Anyways.
We'll have Mailbag at the end of the show. Get your comments on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Pot right? Sound good? Do we have first four through the door?
We do. We have Blindside.
Homan. Yeah, that's Brent Homan.
Yeah.
Hi,
Tony
Brent.
Blaylock, Joey Hill, and Terry Crawford.
Coach Terry Crawford. Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on a big week in the Texas high school football world. 176 UIL Texas high school football games across the state. We are narrowing it down. We've gone from 1,250 teams down to 704 teams, down to 352 teams. And this week, we'll cut it down to 176. There are 176 games across the state, and I have done the due diligence. I've done the work to put together my top 10 Texas high school football games of the week, starting with number 10. Longview and DeSoto. Number 10. Remember, this was a regional final a year ago when Longview stunned DeSoto in the regional final. Now we're getting in the second round. I would say that the word for both of these teams this season has been high variance. Both of these teams, when they've looked good, it's been all good. They have been cruising. They've looked very, very good. But they haven't always looked good. And when they've looked bad, yeesh, it has not gone well. Who can find the right mix when it matters the most? That is really the question here. Now, I think a lot of this comes down to quarterback play. I think a lot of this comes down to last year, Longview bullied DeSoto up front. Can DeSoto match up front? Can Longview contain Sherrod Baker? Can Longview's quarterback Johnny Hamilton have a big game against what has been an up and down DeSoto defense? And also of note, Claude Mathis, the head coach at DeSoto, has never beaten John King at Longview. Whether it was at Longview, or whether it was DeSoto, whether it was at Marshall. This would be a real feather in the cap for Claude Mathis in this DeSoto program to avenge the team that knocked him out of the playoffs last year. That game is going down. I probably should have looked that up, where these games are happening. That game is going down Friday night in Waco. DeSoto and Longview. Number 9. Dripping Springs and San Antonio Harlan. This is the good stuff because we're starting to get into kind of these cross-regional matchups, and I mean that from a geographic perspective. Because now you have one of the very best teams in the Austin area taking on one of the very best teams in the San Antonio area. And this was a terrific area-round matchup a year ago when Harlan stunned Dripping Springs. This game's going down at Alamo Stadium at the Rock Pile. Dripping Springs has been on a roll, been on a heater. Week 11, they beat Westlake to grab the number 1 seed. Westlake's now blowing up basketballs because they had to play Vandergrift in the first round. Last week, they had no problem with Cedar Park Vista Ridge. They got a really, really strong game from Jason Gata, their running back, and they've got a big-time receivers on the outside like James Montgomery and Cooper Reed. For Harlan, the name of the game, I think, is establishing the run. They want to establish it. G. Ivory Graham has been terrific. He ran for 4 scores last week against Madison. I think the question for me is going to be, how does the Harlan defensive front match up against a big, physical Dripping Springs offensive line that looks like it means business? This game is dripping with intrigue. Friday night at the Rock Pile in San Antonio. Dripping Springs in San Antonio, Harlan. Number 8. Anna and Amarillo Palo Duro. This is another kind of example of one of those cross-regional games that gets me excited. This is going on 6:30 p.m. Friday in Wichita Falls. And there's a lot of storylines here. One of them, the head coach of Anna, Seth Parr, his dad is a former Amarillo Palo Duro head coach and actually coached Eric Mims, the head coach at Palo Duro, in high school. A lot of family ties here, a lot of connections here. And Palo Duro ran away from El Paso Hanks in the second quarter last week. Julian Reese, Deuce Reese, has been so good for them. I love what this kid brings to the table. Julian Reese has been terrific. Darian Lewis didn't play but should play this week. He's a game changer. For Anna, last week against Mansfield Timberview, I was really impressed. I made a point that I thought that Timberview matched up well with Anna, and Anna totally took those maybe disadvantages and mitigated them and allowed their big stars to stand up, especially Ziondre Williams. And I thought the Anna defense was the real star of the show, slowing down that Timberview rushing attack. They will need to do it again this week. This is a really fun ball game. Palo Duro and Anna, 2 great quarterbacks in this one. Going on Wichita Falls. Number 7, Panther Creek in Springtown. More on this in the picks in a bit. But it's like offense. Got two big offenses here, averaging combined 97 points a game. Star power all over the place. Kane Hill, Johnny Anthony Larzabal for Springtown. Graylin Fry, Jalen Lott, Donovan Webb. A lot of star power offensively. A lot of this ultimately will come down to defenses. Which of these defenses can show up, and which of these teams can play a clean ball game. The other question, and I mentioned this in the picks, is which team is more battle tested. I'll just say this. I think Panther Creek is more battle tested. Does that matter? Like, this is in many respects, I think, Springtown's biggest test of the year. And it comes when the stakes are the highest. A lot of fun in this one. This game going down in North Richland Hills at Birdville Fine Arts and Athletic Complex tomorrow night. Number 6, Groover and Wink. I kind of can't stop thinking about this game. I've been thinking about this game a lot because this game's going down in Floydada Friday night. It's another great cross-regional matchup. If you're from a major metro area and you just think, oh, it's West Texas, Wink and Groover are not close. Groover's the team that's been to the mountaintop. Groover's the team that's done the dang thing. Groover's the team that's played for a state championship. Groover's the team that won the regional title a year ago. And there's every reason to believe they can do it again. Briggs Satterfield, their quarterback's been terrific. Bo Cowan leads a really underrated defense. Wink is the team that can't get over the hump. They're like the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? They're the team that's been really good, but if they run into the Chiefs, it just can't happen. Now, they also have every reason to believe this is the year. Khamid Fashan, their running back, has been sensational. I think Lane Lesby, their quarterback, goes underrated because of Fashan. Game comes down to mistakes, comes down to turnovers, comes down to pouncing on mistakes. Game is fascinating. I love this game in 2A Division II. Floydada, Texas is where it's happening. Groover and Wink. Number 5, Peaster and Shallow Water. Oh, you thought I forgot about this one? Nah, I love this game. Childress is where it's happening. 2 regional favorites in Region 1. Peaster has been a wagon. 10-1 on the year. Cooper Martin's been unbelievable. They're 46-0 last week on poor Brownfield. Offense has been terrific. But more importantly, I thought their defense stood on its head. But so... And in fact, that they were, if you remember, Peaster also shut out Sweetwater in this regular season finale. I'm sorry, Shallow Water beat Brownfield, I should say. Cooper Martin is quarterback for them. Peaster pitched a shutout as well, 31-0. They got the offense rolling with Hudson Saliers. A lot of this, I think, comes down to what happens up front. This is a real take your eye off the ball type game. I think Shallow Water is really battle tested. They're 8-3, but those 3 losses are, I hate to say good losses, but they're good losses. They're at least excusable losses. Can Shallow Water's offensive line hold up against what has been a sensational defensive front for Peaster? That is, for me, the name of the game. And winner of this game has got to feel like they can go and contend at the highest levels in Region 1. Shallow Water and Peaster is, I think, flying under the radar. Really, really fun game this week. Number 4, Waxahachie and North Forney. So earlier I said, if you guys like points, you might like this one. Well, if you like points, you'd love North Forney. North Forney's offense has been sensational. This was an area round matchup last year. And this offense for North Forney, led by Ohio State commit Legend Bay at quarterback, is outrageous. Outrageous. This is, I think it's the most dangerous offense in Texas high school football at any level. They are lethal. Legend Bay, Anakin Asuko ran for 188 yards last week. Well, here comes Waxahachie, who has faced down big teams, who has faced down supposed favorites and come out on the other end. The money matchup here is when North Forney has the ball, because you've got an Ohio State commit leading the North Forney offense in Legend Bay. You've got an A&M commit in Jaquan Snell leading the Waxahachie defense. That is good on good. That is strength on strength. Matt Stepp brought this up on Tep and Step. How well does Waxahachie tackle in space? Because they have to tackle in space to beat North Forney. The other side of the ball is interesting too. North Forney's been mostly good, but they've had some times where they've been beat up. Can Jerry Meyer III, the TCU commit for Waxahachie, take advantage of that? This is a huge game in 6A Division I. Massive, massive game. Number 3, Fairfield and Yoakum. We're going to talk with the head coach of the Fairfield Eagles, Coach John Bachtel, coming up here a little later in the show. Fairfield quietly unbeaten, really underrated, a ludicrous offense. Cole Collins, unbelievable. A 3,000-yard passer. He's got 39 touchdowns on the year. He has two 1,000-yard receivers. Kavian Hicks and Finn Smith. 2. Their offense is crazy. This will be their biggest test of the year. Because, and especially for their defense, which has been good, but hasn't been as good as the offense, I'll say that. And this Robinson team, do not mistake them for some sort of pushover. Jermon Robinson, this Yoakum team, I should say. Jermon Robinson, Jamarcus Robinson, Xavier Barnett. They've got dudes. They can go. This game, I think, could be real pointsy. We'll talk about that with John Bachtel coming up here in a little bit. This is a fascinating ball game. I think it's a real opportunity for Fairfield to make a statement and prove that they are for real. And that Region 3 is wide open. In 3 Division 1. Number 2, Pearland and Dickinson. Yeah, they can get a whole lot better than this. Like Region 3 of 6A Division 1, like we're finally getting to the fireworks factory here. And you get 2 top 10 undefeated teams in the second round of the playoffs. Pearland, 11-0. Jamori Champion is a dog. Their quarterback, Jake Westmoreland, I think has been very strong. They've got one of the better defenses in the Houston area, led by Ed Smith. This team is really, really strong. Well, here's Dickinson. Dickinson is 11-0. Dickinson's coming off of a wild win over Atascocita. And let me tell you, their offense can go. Jace Washington was sensational. I think Lorenzo Aguirre, I brought this up to Step on Tep and Step. I think he's really underrated. I love what Lorenzo Aguirre brings to the table. This is Pearland is no pushover. Pearland is a legit 11-0. If Dickinson wins this game, they would have wins over Atascocita, Katy, C.E. King, and Cy-Fair. And then Pearland. That would be among the best resumes in Texas high school football. And it would be really time. No matter what, the winner of this game, I think it needs to start, is in the driver's seat to at least play in a regional final and perhaps even play at AT&T Stadium. This is a huge, huge game in Webster. It's a huge game in 6A Division I Region 3. But it's not even the number 1 game in 6A Division I Region 3 this week. Number 1, Galena Park, North Shore, and Ridge Point. If it's going to happen for Ridge Point, it's happening now. It's happening tomorrow night in Thorne Stadium. This is undefeated Ridge Point. They've done everything we've asked of them. 11-0. And from a talent perspective, from a frontline talent perspective, in my opinion, peerless. Peerless. 2 Power 5 core, Power 4, I think it is, wide receivers in Balin George and Robert Haynes. Romare Smith and Preston Hall lead an outstanding defense. They have an offensive line with at least 3 FBS signees, maybe more. This team is loaded. Loaded. Now, last week, they got put into the blender by Pearland Dawson, but they won their game. We say around here, win your clunkers. And they won it. Well, now they get a shot at, and this is not an opinion, the king of Region 3. North Shore has won 6A Division I Region 3 7 consecutive years. 7 consecutive years. They are the team of record. Quarterback Caleb Maryland's been great. I think their defense, led by Zaquan Nunn, continuing to get better. This is a heavyweight championship title fight, is what this is. And it's an opportunity for Ridgepoint to make a statement and to dethrone the team of record in 6A Division I Region 3. It is a massive game, an enormous game. Ridgepoint and North Shore, my number one game of the week. There it is. The top 10 Texas high school football games of the week. Of course, we got tons of these, including Ridgepoint North Shore, live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Number of those games on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Make sure you go there. We're Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com. Talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. V&A, let's go to the hotline. We are pleased to be joined, as we are every Thursday, by the Texas High School Football Hall of Famer, the host of the eponymous Craig Way Show on AM 1300 The Zone, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, back from Georgia, is our friend Craig Way. Mr. Way, how does today find you?
Well, it finds me happy to be in Austin. Like you said, I was in Georgia. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I was in Georgia last weekend, and I had enough of it. I can tell you that. So it's good to be back in Texas.
It's good to have you back. I know that. Well, let's touch briefly on your trip to Georgia. You go and you take the Longhorns go and hang with the Bulldogs for a little bit before they pull away. I am curious because I know you have conversations within the program. Whether it's with Coach Sarkisian, whether it's people around the program. Obviously, this loss is pretty debilitating to the college football playoff chances. They're not dead, but they are certainly on life support. Have you sensed a change in the vibes, let's say, around the Texas program, or is it still a business as usual, one foot in front of the other type situation, especially with Arkansas coming to town?
Yeah, I think that's the difference, is that they're going to close out the regular season with 2 home games against 2 rivals. It's been a weird year. Sark and I were doing his show last night, and he said, we were able to slide in that Vanderbilt game at home. He said, otherwise, we hadn't had a home game in 7 weeks. It's been weird. They spent the entire month of October on the road, or at least away from Austin. I know they were the designated home team for the OU game, but they were away from Austin those games. And then, of course, they did have the one game against Vanderbilt. Then it was an open date, and then the game at Georgia. So it's been strange, and so they're happy to be playing back home again, and they know they've got 2 games left. And like you said, they know the odds are against them for the college football playoff, but they also know this: if they can find a way to win, not only this Saturday against Arkansas, but against the third-ranked undefeated Texas A&M team, which, will, if they haven't already clinched their spot in the college football playoff, I guess they'll completely finish it up by finishing off Samford this weekend. So so they know if they could get a win over them, at least they give themselves a fighting chance. Now, they still need other things to happen. They've got to depend on the good graces of others. They probably need Oklahoma to lose again. They probably need, it wouldn't hurt to have Alabama lose the Iron Bowl to Auburn. It wouldn't hurt to have Vanderbilt lose again. They have to have a domino effect. But we've seen it before, certainly in the high school playoff step, where one team could get in if they won and all these other things happen, and lo and behold, all those other things happen. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen in this case. They just have to put themselves in position to even have a shot at it, and that starts this week against Arkansas.
Talking with Craig Way, the Texas High School Hall of Famer. Join us every Thursday on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF Today. All right, Craig, it's on to the high school ranks. And in the high school ranks, the first round of the Texas High School Football playoffs is in the books. And I know that you are keeping an eye on the entire bracket as a whole. When you take a look now, kind of sifting through what was, obviously a wide range of results, I'm curious which results really stood out to you, whether they were surprises or whether it was one that you think has long-term ramifications for the shape of a bracket. Give me a result or two that really caught your eye from the first round of the playoffs.
Well, the 4 seeds beating the 1s obviously is going to catch folks' attention. And you and I know from what we've seen in the past, when you have those upsets, quite often you have teams that won in the first round that don't have sustainability to carry it beyond round 1. We'll find out, obviously, if the upsets that happened in the first round can continue on into the second round. I give a couple of punchers chances to some of those teams, and then other ones, hey, it was great to get a playoff win, and that's going to be the end of it. That's one of the things that comes to mind. The other thing that comes to mind is those high volume games. Remember last week we said, I like to say all playoff games are created equal, but some are more equal than others, that kind of thing. And so if we get Orwellian here, we can talk about the fact that, that Vandergrift Westlake game was amazing. And now we'll see how Vandergrift does against Brandeis. I'll tell you what else has kind of quietly happened, Kev, not only across the state, but even right here in the greater Austin area. Don't look now, but you see what John Walsh is building at San Marcos?
Mm-hmm.
What he did at Geyer and winning a state title. And, of course, there was all the issues with eligibility and all that kind of stuff and having to play a JV schedule in the past and all of those things. And all of a sudden they turn around, they win a game, and they got a winnable game this week. He could wind up taking them into a Sweet 16 matchup with the Vandergrift Brandeis winner if they win. That's one of the things that leaked off the page at me as well.
You are going to be on the call tonight. You're called into early duty as you're heading to the Star in Frisco to call Highland Park.
I love it when you say
Highland Park in Frisco. Here's a true statement, by the way. I can just tell people pulled back the curtain. Craig texted me and he said, by the way, this is going to be my first ever game calling at the Star, as you guys said. So if you guys want to know how we're infecting our friends, that's how. But Craig, you're on the call tonight for Highland Park and Frisco Reedy, a tasty matchup. I think flying under the radar. When you take a look at this game, what are you going to be keeping an eye out for when the Lions meet the Scots?
Well, I would tell you this. I would feel better about Reedy's chances had Lincoln Harn not gone down a couple of weeks ago in that slugfest that they had with Lone Star. When you lose a guy who's passed for over 2,000 yards and rushed for 600 yards, that's tough. It's tough to replace that. And DJ Carlisle did an adequate job last week in the by-district win, but this is they leaned on their defense heavily, obviously, to win in round 1, and they could do that against Creekview. Against Highland Park, you're going to have to find a way to score some points on that Scots defense for sure. But they've got some playmaking kinds of guys, and then obviously for Highland Park, they really seem to be in a good rhythm. Buck Randall's having an outstanding year, and since they've had Cannon Bozeman back, and here's a guy, I was talking to Randy Allen about this. Here's a guy that's caught 41 passes for 956 yards and 14 touchdowns. That's a season and a half, sometimes 2 seasons for some guys. He's missed 3 games. So he's got his number 1 target back. They've been able to run the ball a little bit, and they're playing really good defense. I think you tell me if you think. I think 5A Division I in regions 1 and 2 are going to be really, really difficult to deal with between the likes of an Aledo and Lone Star, which will be down here after losing a coin flip to play Georgetown tomorrow night, and Highland Park. Those are 3 heavyweights, and Ryan, of course. So you got 4 heavyweights in the D1 bracket before you even talk about what's going on in D2.
I think you're spot on. I think that 5A Division I figures to be just we're kind of getting to the good stuff here, and this feels like kind of a prelim here for things that there are bigger tests ahead for the winner of this ball game. But first, they got to get past a really tough opponent tonight, Highland Park and Frisco Reedy. All right, Craig, it's the meanest thing we do to each other each week, and I said on your show when you did it to me that it gets meaner every week. I will give you 3 games. I will move aside the game you're calling tonight. I know you're really excited about Highland Park and Frisco Reedy, but of these 3 games, you can only teleport to one. Which one are you going to? And I'll give you not just 3 games, but 3 games in 3 different brackets. You can go to 6A Division 1 for Galena Park North Shore and Fort Bend Ridge Point. You can go to 6A Division 2 for DeSoto and Longview in a rematch of a regional final from a year ago. Or you can go to 2A Division 2 out there in Floydada, America, to watch Groover and Wink. Which of those 3 games are you heading to?
We were talking about Groover and Wink the other day, and you and I are going to work the 2A Division, the 2AD2 championship game, right?
Yes, we are.
That one? The winner of that game, it could open up for them to win the region, with apologies to Stratford and maybe Seagrace, and keep an eye on a dangerous Ropes team. But I think the winner of that game stands a good chance to come out of that region. So that's a lot of fun. The 2 6A games certainly bring a lot of attention, a lot of excitement. The Longview DeSoto rematch will be kind of fun to watch. But I think the obvious choice here is North Shore Ridge Point. You mentioned it, that this is the time, this is the moment. If Ridge Point is going to stake its claim as the new, hot, brutal team to deal with in 6A out of the greater Houston area, with a nod to North Shore, with a nod to Katy, if they're going to be that team, if they're going to be, here's the way I look at it, Jeff. If Ridge Point is going to be the 2025 version of North Crowley from a year ago, tomorrow night's the night. The North Shore game that's when it has to happen.
He's Craig Way. He's a Texas High School Football Hall of Famer. You can hear him on the call for Highland Park and Frisco Reedy with our friends at Victory tonight. Then you can hear him on the call for Texas and Arkansas on Saturday. Craig, appreciate your time, my friend, and we will do it again next week on a holiday edition of this segment. Thanks, my friend.
You'll be talking to me next week I'll be talking to you from Maui, Texas Longhorn basketball in Maui next week. So when we do this thing next week, we'll be in Maui. But yeah, we'll look forward to it.
Well, now I'm mad. Bye, Craig. Hang up on him. Hang up on him. It's Craig Way, the Texas Football Hall of Famer, gets to go to Maui for work. Hey, Brooke, when do we get to go to Maui for work? Just an open question from my boss.
That's what I'm saying.
We appreciate Craig White hopping on with us. We are Texas Football Today here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. After the break, my predictions for all 176 UIL Texas High School Football playoff games and the picks, and then we'll be joined by the head coach of the undefeated Fairfield Eagles, Coach John Bachtel will join us. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Pour some sunshine with new First Light Community Coffee's first ever light roast. This blend has notes of honey and brown sugar that will brighten any part of your day. Try First Light now at communitycoffee.com.
Friday night football is here, and Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation to make game days effortless. Sell tickets online, easily scan them at the gate, track sales in real time, and keep your community connected with a free athletic website. Make every game a Hometown game. Visit hometown.com to learn more.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Welcome into the Picks, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, your guide to the Texas high school football playoffs. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and well, that was fun. 352 UIL Texas high school football games last weekend in the first round of the playoffs, and it was a doozy. We had near misses, and we had some huge upsets. In fact, 22 teams that finished in 4th place in their district are under the area round. Pretty remarkable stuff. It was a wild and woolly week of Texas high school football playoffs, and the best part is it gets even better because now we've got 176 UIL Texas high school football playoff games scattered hither and yon across the state of Texas. And once again, I am predicting all 176 games. I'm either going to mention it out loud or it's going to be scrolling on this side of the screen. There are huge games everywhere you go, win or go home. We start in North Richland Hills. 7 o'clock Friday night at Birdville Fine Arts and Athletic Complex in North Richland Hills. It is a 4A Division I area round matchup as the Frisco Panther Creek Panthers take on the Springtown Porcupines. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number 1, welcome to the fireworks factory, because folks, if you are looking for offense, do I have the game for you. These are two highly explosive offenses that are going to square off on Friday night. For Springtown, they are averaging just south of 50 points per game with their superstar quarterback Kane Hill and their outstanding running back John Anthony Lardizabal. This is a balanced, dangerous attack for Brian Hewlett's ball club. On the other side, for Frisco Panther Creek, they're averaging 47 points per game, and they're a star power everywhere. Quarterback Braylon Fry has been terrific. They got a huge, big-time wide receiver out wide in Jalen Lott and a running game led by the outstanding Donovan Webb. This team is loaded for bear. These are two offenses that are going to really put on a show on Friday night. Which one of them can come up with the big plays when it matters most? Key number 2, behind the chains. So big-time offenses, right? It is going to be absolutely critical for these defenses to win on 1st and 2nd down and keep these offenses in 3rd and uncomfortable. Now, both these defenses are certainly capable of that. Panther Creek has been very strong defensively, led by Ashton Meldrum. On the other side, Springtown undefeated on the year, thanks in large part to their defense, led by Luis Lizcano. That is going to be the name of the game here. Can these teams win on 1st and 2nd down and keep these offenses behind the chains? And key number 3, battle tested. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. I think this is going to be a pretty close game. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched. And so when it gets down to the nitty-gritty like this, you try to start finding where you can separate these two teams. And I think the biggest difference between these two ball clubs is the path they walked to get here. Springtown was the district champion, undefeated, of District 5 4A Division 1. And while that's a good district, still 3 teams alive in the playoffs after the first round, their combined opponent record on the season is just 48-65. On the other side, for Panther Creek, this is a team that survived District 7 4A Division 1, arguably the toughest district in all of 4A D1. All 4 teams are still alive. Their opponents on the year are combined 60-57. Now, that may not matter, right? They're here, they're going to play 48 minutes of ball. But if it does come down to which team is more battle tested, I think Panther Creek might have the edge. The big question, does it matter? Who am I picking? I'm going with Panther Creek. The Panthers get the nod here because I think their front line talent, Donovan Webb, Jalen Lott, Braylon Fry, the big-time playmakers they've got all over this field, I think that is going to win the day. They have got the superstar power, and I think that is their biggest advantage in this one. Now, for Springtown, obviously 11-0 for a reason. This is a pretty darn good ball club. I think they may have the depth advantage, and if this game gets late in the ball game and it comes down to who's got more in the tank, Springtown may have the advantage. If this game comes down to the 4th quarter, I think that the Porcupines can win it, but I think Panther Creek is your favorite. Give me the Panthers. 7 o'clock Friday night at Thorne Stadium in Houston. It is a 6A Division I area round matchup as Galena Park North Shore takes on Fort Bend Ridgepoint. And talk about getting to the fireworks factory. This is where it gets really good in Region 3. Between this game and Pearland and Dickinson, which is a battle of unbeatens, it does not get a whole lot better than this. Ridgepoint undefeated on the year and maybe the single most talented team in all of Texas high school football, at least from a prospect perspective. A huge offensive line with at least 3 FBS guys on it, a tremendous defense led by Preston Hall and Romare Smith, an unbelievable offense with big-time playmakers out wide like Robert Haynes and Balin George. They are loaded. Now, last week, they got a huge scare against Pearland Dawson, had to survive, but they came out on the other side. Their reward is a date with the team of record in Region 3, Galena Park North Shore. And this team
shook off their Week 11 loss to Summer Creek and got on the good foot last week. Quarterback Caleb Maryland has been terrific, growing each and every week, and I think their defense with Zaquan Nunn is really starting to round into form. Look, I don't think I'm making any bones about it. This is one of the best games of the week. I think it's almost too close to call. When it comes down to that, you go to pedigree. North Shore has won this region each of the last 7 years. Hard to pick against that. I like the Mustangs. 7 o'clock Friday night at Royce City ISD Stadium. It is a 5A Division II area round matchup as the Texas High Tigers take on the Midlothian Heritage Jaguars. This is actually a rematch of a Week 3 non-district game in which Heritage went on the road to Texarkana and handed Texas High its only loss of the year, 35-20. So the question is, what has changed since then? Well, Heritage had a bit of an up and down season, but I really like what they've been able to do offensively with Dax Montalongo, their quarterback, and Zako Davis, their running back, a big 1-2 punch there. On the other side for Texas High, if you want to talk about what's changed, I think their defense is rounded into form, led by a Shaylin Cooper, and they have unleashed running back Tredarian Ball, their Oregon commit, who is one of the very best running backs in all of Texas high school football. In Week 3, he only had 6 carries. I think he will have many more than 6 carries in this ball game. It's hard to beat a good team twice, and I think Texas High gets its lick back. Give me the Tigers. 7 o'clock Friday night at Tiger Field in Belton. It is a 3A Division I area round matchup as the Yoakum Bulldogs take on the Fairfield Eagles. And you want to talk about high-powered box office offenses. This is going to be a fun matchup. Fairfield quietly undefeated on the year, and quarterback Cole Collins, what a player. Over the 3,000-yard mark passing, 39 touchdowns through the air, a pair of 1,000-yard receivers on the outside in Kavian Hicks and Finn Smith. This offense is electrifying. Now, if there is a knock on Fairfield, it is that they haven't been tested and they can be touched up defensively. Both of those questions are going to be answered this week against Yoakum because this is a really good ball club with a ton of weapons like Jermarcus Robinson, Jermon Robinson, and Xavier Barnett. They have got playmakers all over the place. Quite frankly, when I look at this ball game, Yoakum's really been tested, right? They've gone through a very difficult district playing teams like Hitchcock and Columbus. I'm not sure Fairfield has seen a team quite like Yoakum. That's why I think the Bulldogs have the advantage. Give me Yoakum to move on to the regional semifinals. 7 o'clock Friday night at Tire Stadium in Floydada. It is a 2A Division II area round matchup as the Wink Wildcats take on the Groover Greyhounds. It's Panhandle meets Permian Basin in a terrific matchup, and I'm really excited about this one. Groover won the region last year, and quarterback Briggs Satterfield has been spectacular. 44 total touchdowns on the year, and I do think the defense, led by Bo Cowan, is really underrated for these Greyhounds. Wink has been so close in past years, and every reason to believe that this is the year that they break through. Running back Kamid Fashan has been terrific. Lane Lusby at the quarterback spot has been excellent. Both of these teams feast on the stakes. And so for me, this game comes down to turnovers. Who can take care of the football? This game is razor thin. I think it's too close to call, but I lean towards the team that won the region last year. Give me Groover. And 7 o'clock Friday night at Marble Falls Faith High School, it is a 1A Division I area round matchup as the May Tigers take on the Medina Bobcats. So this is in Region 4, and Region 4 is where Gordon lives. And I think because of that, they get a lot of the attention in Region 4. But I think May and Medina are wildly underrated, which makes this a really fun ball game. I'm excited for them to get their shine. May is off to a 10-1 mark under first-year coach Jacob Brown, winners of 9 straight, and Kobe Morris, their running back, has been a dog for them. He has been terrific. On the other side, for Medina, you want to watch out for their passing game, led by Davis Patterson, their quarterback. He is going to be a big-time playmaker in this game. In the end, I look at May. I think they have the superior defense. I think that leads them to a win. Give me the Tigers.
The Picks is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Don't have time to go to a Dick's store this week? Just go to Dicks.com.
Yo, these Katie's are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
But those are far from the only big games in the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Remember, I'm picking all 176 UIL Texas High School Football Playoff games. I either mention it out loud or it's scrolling on the side of the screen. Let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I, I like defending champ North Crowley over Midland Legacy. Give me North Forney in a wild one over Waxahachie. And after a historic win over Converse Judson last week, I think Laredo United keeps rolling with a win over Los Fresnos. 6A Division II now, I like Byron Nelson over El Paso Eastwood. And in a rematch of a regional final last year, I like DeSoto over Longview. I like Dripping Springs over San Antonio Harlan, and its student meets teacher. Brooks Hack, head coach at Houston Memorial, takes on his former coach Gary Joseph at Katy. I like Katy over Memorial. 5A Division I now, give me Frisco Lone Star over Georgetown, and two teams that have a history of getting a little weird in this one. I like Denton Ryan over Abilene. I like PSJA North to keep rolling with a win over Bernie Champion, and I like Port Arthur Memorial over A&M Consolidated. 5A Division II now, I like Argyle over Abilene Cooper. Give me Alamo Heights over Mercedes, and high-flying Bastrop rolls into Thanksgiving with a win over Waco University. 4A Division I now, give me Fort Bend Crawford over Lindale. I like Bay City to edge past Austin LBJ, and Stephenville stays perfect with a win over Dumas. 4A Division II now, I like Seminole over Glen Rose, and give me Sunnyvale to get by Van. West Orange Stark gets a win over high-powered Robinson, and speaking of big offenses, I like Sinton over Gerald. To 3A Division I we go. I like Pottsboro over Malakoff. Give me Goliad over Crystal City, and I'm going with Paradise over Dalhart. In 3A Division II, I like Wall over Childress, and Gunner beats Wichita Falls City View. Give me Dangerfield over ARP, and Poth wins a close one over East Bernard. 2A Division I now, I like Frankston to remain unbeaten with a win over Dillon, and Stinnett West Texas stays unbeaten with a win over Hawley. Give me Surprising Kennedy to keep it rolling with a win over Crawford, and I like Honeygrove over Joaquin. 2A Division II now, defending state champ Munster gets a win over Wellington. I think Junction stays perfect with a win over Falls City. And talk about strength on strength. I like Mount Enterprise to outgun Chilton. And more big action in six-man football. In 1A Division II, I like Benjamin over Balmorhea and Strawn over Bluffdale. And in 1A Division I, give me Water Valley over Newcastle. And those are the picks. I picked all 176 UIL Texas High School Football Playoff games. I either mentioned it out loud or of scrolling on this side of the screen, which now you can tell me, what am I wrong about? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2025 Texas High School Football Playoffs at texasfootball.com/playoffs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. We'll see you.
God, does that Tepper guy ever shut up? There it is, the picks. My predictions for all 176 UIL Texas High School Football Playoff games. You can find it on texasfootball.com and on our YouTube page. VNA, let's go to the hotline, the Bology hotline. We are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the 11-0 Fairfield Eagles, rolling into the area round. Please be joined by Coach John Bachtel. Coach, how are you?
Oh, Coach.
I think we got him. Coach, you read me? He can hear him. He can hear me.
Mike might be off.
Oh, hold on. There we go. I think we got you. Coach, you got me? He can hear us.
He can hear us.
I'll tell you what. Let's get this figured out here in just a minute. We're going to get with John Bachtel, head coach of the Fairfield Eagles, coming up here in just a moment. This is obviously a huge game. Fairfield and Yoakum getting together in a 3A Division I matchup. We talked about it. This is a huge test, I think, for Fairfield. It looked like his microphone was coming through, by the way. But this is a huge test for Fairfield, 11-0 on the year. The high-powered offense they've got with Cole Collins. We'll try it again.
I think we got you.
Coach Bechtel, do you got me?
I do, yes. I can hear you.
We figured it out on our end. We appreciate you, Coach. First and foremost, thank you so much for your time. I know this is a busy time of year for you. Kind of before we start, a broad question. You know, you're in your 14th year there as the head coach there at Fairfield.
Yes, sir.
It includes a run to a state championship game with one of my all-time favorite players in Larry Rose III. And you've mounted successful season after successful season. How much pride do you personally take in what has been the flourishing of this Eagles program to be one of the most consistently excellent in 3A?
Well, we take a lot of pride in that. We just got a lot of blue collar kids. You talked about Larry Rose. That whole team was pretty phenomenal. Just a bunch of kids that just worked hard all the time. And I think we got the same group each year that just tries to go out there and just play hard. Try to do good things.
Well, you guys have certainly been playing hard en route to an 11-0 mark. If I had told you before the season, hey, Coach, we're going to be talking week before Thanksgiving, you guys are going to be undefeated heading into an area round matchup, would that have surprised you, or has this team more or less played to your expectations?
Great question. I knew we had a chance to be good. Last year, we didn't tackle very well. So the question this year was, will we tackle? So far we have. We're going to have to tackle tomorrow, though.
That is absolutely true. And you mentioned the defense, and we're going to talk about the offense here in a moment, and there's a lot to talk about there. But the defense has been clearly better than it was last year, significantly better. Last year, you guys gave up, around 35 points a game. This year, you guys are down, around about 14 points a game. Is it a matter of personnel? Is it a matter of scheme? Is it a matter of experience? What has gone on with what has been a real defensive revolution for you guys?
Really, our senior leadership is phenomenal. And that kind of goes to your question before and even now is when you said, were you expecting it? I knew we were going to we got 21 seniors and most of them play. They played for 3 years. Now we're doing some things defensively, scheme-wise, that are a little bit different than last year, but our kids are running to the ball and they're trying to tackle now, so that helps tremendously.
Talking with John Bachtel, the head coach of the Fairfield Eagles here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. All right, Coach, let's go ahead and talk about this offense, because this offense has been electrifying. One of the most unstoppable offenses in all of Texas high school football, and it starts with QB1. I'm sure you're tired of talking about Cole Collins. This guy, unbelievable the numbers he's putting up, but you're the guy who knows him best. What is it about Cole Collins, your signal caller, that makes him special?
He's a winner. He's just a winner. He finds a way to do it. I mean, it might be running it, it might be throwing it. He just finds a way to win football games for us. And that goes to every sport he plays. He just finds a way to win.
Not to get too lost in Cole Collins, but he's also got quite a bevy of weapons on the outside. Obviously, a pair of 1,000-yard receivers in Finn Smith and Kavian Hicks. How important? Obviously, there's got to be somebody on the other side of the pass to catch the ball. But how important have their development and this receiver core's development over the season been to you guys being here about to play an area round game?
Yeah, extremely. Coach Covert does a great job with our offense. And really, are you going to put the guys in the box to stop the run, or are you going to put them in the back to stop the pass? It makes it tough on defenses. And those guys go make catches. And that's not even talking about Connor Covert, who's gone for over 500 yards, and Tylen Davis, who's gone for over 500 yards. So we've got 4 receivers that we can throw the football to and will throw the football to. And then we got 2 backs that can run the football. It just makes it tough. And then Cole runs the football well as well. So it makes it tough. We got to have a good game Friday, though.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it. We're talking with John Bachtel here on the Ballad Hotline. Coach, you mentioned it. It's going down tomorrow night in Belton. You guys will take on a Yoakum ball club that is, pretty darn good. They're here for a reason. And I'm not going to ask you to give away all of your plans for tomorrow night, but when you take a look at what you're going to be up against tomorrow night, what do you see?
They are big, fast, and they have played some great football teams. They're battle tested. Mm-hmm. We got to go play with them.
Mm-hmm. And when it gets to when you head to Belton to take on this ball club, what is going to be your message to your guys? What has been your message to your guys going into this game? Every week there's more and more pressure. What is your message to your guys when you guys take the field tomorrow night in Belton?
Be us. We don't have to do it. Be us. Be us on offense. Be us on defense. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't try to do somebody else's job. Just do your job. Be us. play our game. And I feel like if we do that, we're going to have a shot.
Well, Coach, I hope it doesn't matter. Would you rather be practicing on Thanksgiving, or would you rather be focused on cooking? I mean, there's a trade-off here, right?
It is a trade-off. I'm a big guy, so I like to eat, but I would rather be practicing.
I know you would. He's John Bachtel. He's the head coach of the Fairfield Eagles. Coach, we so appreciate your time. Congratulations again on all your success, and let's plan on talking next week to figure out where you guys are playing your regional semifinal.
Hey, thank you, and thank you all for what y'all do for Texas high school football.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Coach. There he goes. John Bachtel, head coach of the Fairfield Eagles, joined us here on Texas Football Today. I'm not just blowing smoke about that 2013 team. That is, I've said this before. We've had him on the program because he's on the very short list of my all-time favorite Texas high school football players. Was Larry Rose III, who went on to, I believe he's still New Mexico or New Mexico State. Ooh, they're going to get mad at me. I need to look this up. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't get my house burned down by somebody. He played at New Mexico State. He's the leading rusher in New Mexico State history, but he made his name at Fairfield, and I remember thinking there can't be better players than this in 2013. He was unbelievable, and they've got a chance. I'm telling you, it's such a different offense than they've run, and I think that's a credit to Coach Bechtel and his staff that they've been able to take what they've got personnel-wise and make the best out of it. Right now, they've got a superstar signal caller in Cole Collins. If you have not seen him, he is fun to watch. They will have their hands full tomorrow night in Belton when they take on Yoakum, but this is going to be a whale of a ball game, and I'm really, really excited about it. We appreciate him hopping on with us. Okie dokie, one last thing to do today, Vinay, and that is to open up the mailbag to answer your questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, anything you got. Get them in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We will get to a handful of these right about... He's waiting for V&A to get ready.
Sorry.
Now.
Oh, sorry. I have to hold my computer up because then my microphone.
There's a lot going on here, guys.
So I saw one earlier. Let's see. Tony Blaylock asks, for those who hate offense, who is the best pound for pound defense left in the playoffs?
Ooh, left in the playoffs. That's a good question. It's pound for pound. I could be a real smart ass, and I could say, like, Gordon is the best defense left. And they might be. I want to be clear. Their defense is exceptional. But I would say, pound for pound, I've mentioned this before, but what Wheeler is doing is insane. Wheeler has played 11 games. They have allowed 35 points. That is insane. They've got a huge game this week against Collinsville. So you want to talk about good on good. Collinsville's offense can absolutely going up against Wheeler. That is one of them. I would put Wall in that category as well. Wall has been spectacular. I would put Junction in that category. I think, speaking of, we talk about Fairfield. Fairfield being quietly unbeaten. Junction quietly unbeaten. Keep an eye on those Eagles. And then I would also, it would be pound for pound. There's here's four heavyweight, legit, brand name contenders that I think could lay claim to having the best pound for pound defense in Texas so far, or left. South Lake Carroll, been excellent. For all we talk about Angelo Renda and Brock Boyd, their defense, led by William Chen, has been unbelievable. Aledo's 11-0 because of their defense. I think their offense has been fine. Their defense has been electric. It's been excellent. Stephenville has been vintage Stephenville defense. And Brock would be the other team that I would put in that category of defense. I would also maybe throw in a team like Tidehaven. Tidehaven's defense has been excellent. Again, I think overshadowed by the fact they've got Cale Russell. But that Tidehaven defense has been remarkable. So those would be ones that pound for pound. But there's a lot. PSJ North is a really good defense too. There's a lot of really good defenses left. Got another?
We also have somebody's asking. I have to put my computer.
Oh my gosh! Get better glasses.
I know. Upset Watch. Who was on Upset Watch? That was asked by.
Oh, who's on Upset Watch? Okay.
Okay. I always get this one. Blindside. Who is that again?
Brent Homan. Our friend Brent Homan.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brent Homan. I'll give you a couple teams that I think are on Upset Watch, and I think it's because you don't want to fall for it again. I think Honey Grove is on upset watch. They play Joaquin. Remember, Joaquin won the stinking region last year as a 3 or 4 seed. Joaquin is a team that at this point you pick against at your own peril. Of course, I picked against them. That's one that I think is on upset watch. Another team that I again, same category. If you want to consider it an upset, I think Edgewood's on upset watch against Woodville. Another team that ran to a state championship game a year ago, surprisingly. I think they're on upset watch. I think Columbus is on upset watch. They've got Palestine Westwood this week, and when they play their paper, they've got Kavian Bryant, and that dude is magic. I think Columbus could be on upset watch. Let me see if I can pick one more.
I have one more.
Okay. I was looking for one more upset watch.
Oh,
that's what I was saying. Okay, I'll give one more. I think Port Neches Groves needs to watch out. This is an Ennis team that they are clear favorites, and I think they have been better than. This is also an Ennis team that has a ton of pedigree and a ton of pride. I love this game, P&G and Ennis. And if you let Ennis hang around, they can get you. I picked P&G. I picked P&G to win for a reason. I picked P&G to win state, right? So don't get it twisted. But antennas up on this one because I think Ennis is better than people may think. Those are some upset watches. You got one more?
Yes. Which team do you think is going to start a new dynasty this year or go on another year after year championship run?
So it's interesting because there's a couple of quote unquote dynasties that I think could be coming to a close. Gordon, for example. Gordon's the clear favorite 1A Division I. They're going to graduate super heavy next year. They're going to lose all 3 of their superstars. That feels like it may be the end of an era. I don't want to doubt Mike Reed and company, but that special group, Thunder, outside the Dave Campbell. Oh Thunder. No, the Gordon people are mad. God's a Gordon fan. Yeah, I like that. I think this could be the start of something of a multi-year run for South Lake Carroll if they are able to finish this thing off. Because even though they will graduate some stars, I know they've got some youngsters they're really high on. I think that realignment is going to shape out in a way that is going to be beneficial to them. That's a team that I'm interested in. Stephenville could be on the verge of a multi-year run. I mean, it's weird to say Gunner because but if Gunner win, I'll just say it this way: Gunner's won 3 consecutive titles. If they win a 4th, it's hard to see them stopping, barring something in realignment. I don't know what their realignment number is. I don't have it in front of me. But, they will have to, because they've got a sophomore quarterback. That's the question. So, if you're going to get Gunner, it feels like this is the year to get Gunner. Because otherwise, it's hard to see that train stopping. Those would be a couple that I could think you could see multi-year runs. But a lot to figure out this week. A lot to figure out.
A lot.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Of course, TexasFootball.com/playoffs is where you can find everything for the Texas Football playoffs. And then Saturday night, we are counter-programming SNL. It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight Playoff Edition. Yeah. Tons of highlights, updated brackets from across the state of Texas, 10:30 p.m. wherever you're streaming us right now. Scores, highlights, analysis, everything you need for the 2025 Texas High School Football Playoffs. It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight Playoff Edition. Saturday night, 10:30 p.m., wherever you stream.
A lot of highlights.
Got work to do. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Fairfield head coach John Bachtel and to Craig White, the Texas Football Hall of Famer, for being our guests. For Fiona Moreno, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you Saturday night for Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. We will see you Monday for Monday Morning Fallout on Texas Football Today.
Goodbye.